Sahih al-Bukhari 1741. Narrated Abu Bakr. The Prophet delivered to us a sermon on the day of Nar. He said, "Do you know what is the day today?" We said, "Allah and His Apostle know better." He remained silent till we thought that he might give that day another name. He said, "Isn't it the day of Nar?" We said, "It is." He further asked, "Which month is this?" We said, "Allah and His Apostle know better." He remained silent till we thought that he might give it another name. He then said, "Isn't it the month of Dhul Hijjah?" We replied, "Yes. It is." He further asked, "What town is this?" We replied, "Allah and His Apostle know it better." He remained silent till we thought that he might give it another name. He then said, "Isn't it the forbidden, sacred town of Mecca?" We said, "Yes. It is." He said, "No doubt, your blood and your properties are sacred to one another like the sanctity of this day of yours, in this month of yours, in this town of yours, till the day you meet your Lord. No doubt. Haven't I conveyed Allah's message to you?" They said, "Yes." He said, "O Allah, be witness." So it is incumbent upon those who are present to convey it, this information, to those who are absent, because the informed one might comprehend it, what I have said, better than the present audience, who will convey it to him. Beware, beware! Do not renegade, as disbelievers after me, by striking the necks, cutting the throats, of one another. Sahih al-Bukhari 1742. Narrated Ibn Umar. At Mina, the Prophet, P.B.U.H., said, "Do you know what is the day today?" The people replied, "Allah and His Apostle know it better." He said, "It is the forbidden, sacred day." "And do you know what town is this?" They replied, "Allah and His Apostle know it better." He said, "This is the forbidden, sacred town, Mecca." "And do you know which month is this?" The people replied, "Allah and His Apostle know it better." He said, "This is the forbidden, sacred month." The Prophet added, "No doubt, Allah made your blood, your properties, and your honor sacred to one another like the sanctity of this day of yours, in this month of yours, in this town of yours." Narrated Ibn Umar, on the day of Nar, 10th of Dhul Hijjah, the Prophet stood in between the Jamrat during his Hajj which he performed, as in the previous Hadith, and said, "This is the greatest day, i.e. 10th of Dhul Hijjah." The Prophet started saying repeatedly, "O Allah, be witness, I have conveyed your message." He then bade the people farewell. The people said, "This is Hajjat al-Wada." Sahih al-Bukhari 1743. Narrated Ibn Umar. The Prophet permitted the people who provided the pilgrims with water to stay at Mecca during the nights of Mina. Sahih al-Bukhari 1744. Narrated Ibn Umar. That the Prophet allowed people who provided the pilgrims with water to stay at Mecca during the nights of Mina. Sahih al-Bukhari 1745. Narrated Ibn Umar. Al-Abbas asked the permission from the Prophet to stay at Mecca during the nights of Mina in order to provide water to the people, so the Prophet allowed him. Sahih al-Bukhari 1746. Narrated Wabra. I asked Ibn Umar, "When should I do the Ramee of the Jimar?" He replied, "When your leader does that." I asked him again the same question. He replied, "We used to wait till the sun declined and then we would do the Ramee, i.e. on the 11th and 12th of Dhul Hijjah." Sahih al-Bukhari 1747. Narrated Abdurrahman bin Yazid. Abdullah did the Ramee from the middle of the valley. So, I said, "Oh, Abu Abdurrahman, some people do the Ramee of the Jamra from above it, i.e. from the top of the valley." He said, "By him except whom none has the right to be worshipped, this is the place from where the one on whom Surat al-Baqarah was revealed, i.e. Allah's Messenger, did the Ramee." Sahih al-Bukhari 1748. Narrated Abdurrahman bin Yazid. When Abdullah reached the big Jamra, i.e. Jamrat al-Aqaba, he kept the Kabiya on the left side and Mina on his right side and threw 7 pebbles at the Jamra, and said, "The one on whom Surat al-Baqarah was revealed, i.e. the Prophet, had done the Ramee similarly." Sahih al-Bukhari 1749. Narrated Abdurrahman bin Yazid. I performed Hajj with Ibn Mas'udi, and saw him doing Ramee of the big Jamrat al-Aqaba, with 7 small pebbles, keeping the Kaaba on his left side and Mina on his right. He then said, "This is the place where the one on whom Surat al-Baqarah was revealed, i.e. Allah's Messenger, stood." Sahih al-Bukhari 1750. Narrated al-Amash. I heard al-Hajjaj saying on the pulpit, the surah in which al-Baqarah, the cow, is mentioned in the surah in which the family of Imran is mentioned in the surah in which the women, and Nisa, is mentioned. I mentioned this to Ibrahim, and he said, Abdurrahman bin Yazid told me, I was with Ibn Mas'udi, when he did the Ramee of the Jamrat al-Aqaba. He went down the middle of the valley, and when he came near the tree, which was near the Jamra, he stood opposite to it and threw 7 small pebbles and said, Allahu Akbar on throwing every pebble. Then he said, by him, except whom none has the right to be worshipped, here, at this place, stood the one on whom Surat al-Baqarah was revealed, i.e. Allah's Messenger, but